What's up, guys? Welcome back to another For Honor video. Today's video, I'm going to be going over one tip or trick with every hero. This could be something as basic as a frame advantage or something that you don't know about for a character, to a completely unmentioned item or move in their move set. So yeah, we're going to be going every single character today. It's going to be a little bit rapid fire, so here we go. Real quick, guys, huge announcement. You guys always want to try gamer subs, but you're like, hey, I don't want to put this powdered stuff in a bottle. That's just too much work, you know. I prefer like a Monster, something carbonated, just putting a flavor in a water bottle. Well, bam! It's available now. Starting today. Hopefully I put this video out on the day of release, but Gamer Subs came out with some energy drink cans, variety pack. You can actually get them in singles as well, which is pretty cool. To my knowledge right now, there's only going to be 3 flavors, but there could be more on release date. But you got the Guac Gamer Fart, you've got Goof Juice, which is the moist critical flavor, and then you have the flavor, it's called Good, which is cherry slushy flavored. It's in the mini fridge over there. Honestly, dude, I'm lucky enough to be partnered with Gamer Subs to where they sent me these early so I could try them out, and have a good actual review for y'all, on how they're going to be. Dude, they're fantastic. They're so good. Like, I'm recording this ahead of time. That way on the day of, I'm probably going to be out of these already because they're just that good. Like, they're so delicious. So if y'all want to try these out, use my link down in the description or use code JONDA, J-O-N-D-A. You'll get a 10% discount, at least you should be, unless they're running a different special at the time, like free shipping or something. But you will get some sort of discount using my code. So shout out to Gamer Subs. They're not paying me for this ad. I'm just partnering with them. So if y'all do want to get the product, use my code. You'll get a discount. And then I get support heading my way for y'all purchasing it. Highly recommend it, guys. Super good, super delicious. These are actually made with a little bit of cane sugar instead of just the artificial like sweetener, So they're awesome, man. They're awesome. Definitely get it. Now let's get back to the video. Starting off with Warden. If you throw a zone attack, you can just go straight into another light attack opener and it will beat your opponent's attempt to interrupt. And that forces you, or let me rephrase that, it makes you not have to go into a bash to continue pressure, because even the bash can be interrupted. Peacekeeper. If they block your zone attack, the follow-up is a 50-50. They actually cannot dodge it. This is only on block. If you do hit them with the opener, they can, in fact, dodge the follow-up. It kind of goes against all of the rules of block stun, but it's interesting. Centurion. Now, he has a weird, like, unlock, relock, punish that you can do to get a double heavy on out of stand parry, but he's got a very niche punish you can go for as well. So if you do parry and out of stand attack, you can do a light heavy, quick punch, feint into heavy. And if you do that, that last heavy is not guaranteed because it is a leap after they're already standing, but it's a really funny punish. You do get hyper armor on it, and if they do try to guard break or something, you might just get a lucky extra amount of damage. So really silly, really funny, and yeah, sometimes it works. Black Prior. Now this is more of a punish, but a lot of BPs don't use it. If you get an out of stand parry, you can actually do a dodge forward heavy into a heavy instead of just light heavy. I see a lot of people do that. So dodge forward heavy into any side heavy after that. Pretty good punish. Use it. There's no reason not to. Do not do this on guard break throw. Only on parry out of stand punish. Griffin. So his bash is actually frame advantaged and just enough to where you can use it as additional pressure after your finishers. So if I do this, I can go to a dodge forward bash before they can light attack. It's really nice. So after any heavy finisher, you now have bash pressure, dodge forward light pressure, whatever you want. Conqueror. My tip today is this. When you're doing your charged up flail, you can actually dodge cancel out of it. So if you're charging at a distance and they jump you, you can dodge into it and get a free deflect, or if you have shield basher, you can get a free bash. You can also guard break straight out of it as well. Nobody uses it, but that tool is there. Lawbringer. So what we're looking at is his light parry punish. Most people do this for the punish and then go to mix up. What you should do, instead of the confirm light, do a different side light, because even if they block it, the damage is almost identical. they can't dodge the light. They're forced to parry it. And your damage potential is just so much higher. Instead of 25 and 4 damage, you have the potential to get 25 and 13 damage. It's just so much better. Now, if they start actually being ready for it, and they go to parry it, then you're in trouble. But if they're not ready for it, and they're not going for the parry, then you're good. And in most cases, this is going to be beneficial. Gladiator here is a little bit of a unique one. So for you guys who don't know, he has a skewer that's special against the wall here, where he kind of pins them, does a special animation. However, you can do a max amount of damage by waiting nearly the full duration. Press the GB button, and you'll get that bash. And then your follow-up heavy, as long as it's thrown in a different direction than their guard, is confirmed. And you can get a lot of damage. You're going to get the full bleed duration, you know, as long as you hold it out towards the very end. And you're going to get that heavy. I believe the damage is somewhere roughly around 60. It's quite a bit. I could be wrong. I don't know the exact damage number. But if you can get the timing right on that and getting that punch, you can get a lot of damage with the wall splat. And it's completely worth practicing and getting it, you know, consistent. Warmonger. If you do a charge bash near a wall, but with a little bit of distance, you can actually wait on your heavy and throw a normal top heavy for 7 more damage, and you can continue chaining after. It's really nice. Starting with the Viking faction, we have Raider. He has a very special out-of-stand punish that gets him a lot of damage with additional mix-up. Basically, you get a guard break, make sure your guard's up top, throw straight backwards, and walk forward and throw 2 heavies. Now with the backwards throw, you don't want to hold it. You want to just throw it straight backwards, just let it go, and then start walking forward at them, and 2 heavies. It's really gross, but make sure you follow with a heavy after or a quick light, because the unblockable is interruptible. Berserker. This one is a very weird one, but if they deflect your backwards zone attack, you actually get a free light attack afterwards. Now, you're still going to lose the trade, typically, but you're going to get a little bit of damage to compensate for losing the trade, unless you get somebody who can stop hyper armor, like Orochi or Shinobi. Next up, we got Highlander. Fun tip with him, with his offensive lights. A lot of people like to, you know, feint out of it manually, try to parry the interrupts. But what you can do to make it easier is when you throw the offensive light, immediately let go of the heavy. Right here, and then you're already out of it. And then no stam needed, no extra time, no funky button pressing to get out of the stance. Just offensive light, let go of heavy, and then you're ready. It's really nice. Jormungandr. The only tip I have for him is if you get a knockdown, instead of doing your normal punish, just chain into a zone instead of the normal knockdown. You're going to sacrifice 2 damage, but you get to go straight back into mix-ups. In my opinion, it's worth it. Unless you're low stamina. If you're low stamina, take the punish. Next up, guys, is Warlord. Now, a lot of people know that if you full guard, you get a free light attack. However, on some heavy attacks that you full guard block, you actually get a free heavy. Now, this is not consistent among the cast. Some heavies are not built this way. A lot of the older casts, their opening heavies will give you this free heavy. A lot of the newer do not. It's a really weird inconsistency. So if you're a Warlord player and you didn't know this, I would recommend trying this out. It is something to learn, something to try to practice with each character. Next up is Valkyrie. So with Valkyrie, if somebody hits your full guard, you can cancel real quick with B, and you can guard break them. However, the timing is very strict. This is going to require a ton of practice. This works on heavy and light attack. However, depending on the amount of hit stun they're in from the full block, you have less time to do it. So on a light attack, you barely have time to get the guard break. On a heavy attack, it's a little more generous. It's hard to test with the bot to know for sure. However, it is doable. So practice this, and you'll get a lot more punish than just this. You'll get 24 damage with the potential to execute. It's great. Fun fact with Shaman, zone attack into bleed. It is not dodgeable if you have connected the opening zone attack. However, if you're against an assassin, it is deflectable. So keep it in mind. Do with that information what you want. Varangian Guard tip. I know most of you people are not going to be happy I'm giving a tip here. But with Varangian Guard, with your side unblockable finishers, because the timing is so strict to dodge it, you cannot guard break them on punish. Or at least I have been unable to do that. If you've done it, God let me see. The top one, you can, however. Now the bot's going to dodge very late, so it's not going to matter. But you can dodge that early and get a guard break on VG. So, if you're playing VG and you're in a duel, or really even in a team fight, use your side unblockable a majority of the time. It is much safer. It can only be punished with a dodge bash, dodge unblockable, or a parry. Now on to the samurai. We got Kensei with his zone attack. If they block your opening part of the zone and you try to throw it, they can light interrupt you. But you can feign it in time to parry the interrupt light. So if you're going to use the zone more, know how to feign it and be ready for the interrupt. Orochi. So this is going to be more of a frame advantage role for you guys in relation to Storm Rush, this move. So right now if you use Storm Rush, you actually cannot go back into it again without getting interrupted. You'll actually clash in that case. However, if you try to like light attack into Storm Rush, you will also get interrupted, and that's without the confirmed light, with the confirmed light, whatever. So if you have an opener, let's say you parry a light attack or parry a heavy attack, you can either open with a heavy or you can throw a zone attack without the confirmed, and that'll let you get into Storm Rush without getting interrupted. So for easy Storm Rush mix up, zone into Storm Rush or heavy into Storm Rush, and you're safe. Shinobi. So quick trick for Shinobi. If you do a zone attack after the second hit, you can instantly backflip, which is really nice. You don't have to cancel it or anything. You just press the dodge button. However, if you do this and go back and then try to do a backflip kick, you're interruptible by light attack. However, you can do the backflip and wait a second. You can avoid that immediate light attack, which is really nice. And then you can get your punish with the kick. Just like that. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but it's worth it. Hedo Curie. So this is going to be a tip that's going to help you against players that can react very well. So with Hedo, when you go into your kick, if you feint normally, sometimes you won't even get any orange on your legs here. See there? No orange. And then they're not going to dodge till they see the orange. However, you could choose to feint it later by actually letting the kick come out slightly and then feinting. Look like this. You'll see there's some orange there. Now this takes some practice to do, because you basically have to let it go and then feint it part of the way through. It's a little easier to do with the heavy attacks in my opinion. But this is going to help you against reaction players that are dodging on orange, because they will not dodge before then. So learn this timing, and you will hit a lot more kicks and guard breaks. Alright guys, tip with Sohi. If you have all your stacks and you get a guard break on somebody, because most likely they're going to dodge if you dodge forward. Currently, if you throw them to the wall and you immediately go for the bash into one shot, they can dodge it. However, if you wait till the end of the stun duration on the wall, and you get them right as they're available, you know, to block again, then you can get the bash and get the grab, and they will not be able to dodge it if timed right. It is a timing thing. I do not know a specific time because it's going to depend on the throw, so you're just going to have to time it right like I did there. It is not too hard to do with a little bit of practice. Next up is Goki. So most of you Goki players probably know this, but just in case you don't, if you get a guard break with their back to a wall and you get your normal heavy here, you can get a free light attack as well. Back in the day, you could get a Demon's Embrace, but that is no longer possible. In some scenarios, you can actually get a zone attack as well, but I found that kind of inconsistent, so if you can, just throw a light attack if they're reachable, and that's going to get you a total damage of about 36, or 38 if you can't hit the zone. Next up is Nobu. So with her light attacks and heavy attacks on whiff, you can very much delay follow-ups. For example, do like this. And do a kick. And it's pretty crazy how much you can delay them. Same with the light attacks. And this might help you get some interesting approaches. A lot of times I'll actually whiff the opening light on purpose and do that kick. Or I'll go into the second, third light. So use your creativity on this. This can help you get some gnarly damage at range. Musha. So this is actually a fun mix-up you can do with him. If you do your bash, you wait a second before throwing a heavy, you can throw another bash. However, it is interruptible by light attack. Same with the unblockable. That is also interruptible. So what you can do to mix it up is throw a different side heavy that's really fast. And if they try to interrupt you, they eat 30 damage. It's pretty gross. Like something like that. So something worth doing. It makes your chain heavies actually have purpose, which is nice. And yeah, might get some free damage this way. Kyoshin has a very unique kind of bugged thing he can do. So if while walking backwards you unlock and then immediately taunt, you're going to do your combat taunt backwards. It's going to look just like this. Now while you're in that position, if you go for a kick, you're actually going to bounce backwards, which is going to make the opponent not be able to guard break you if they dodge you. So it's going to look just like this. And then that will actually give you a free guard break if they did go for a guard break punish. It's a very unique interaction. This is going to take a lot of practice. Alright guys, with Tiandi, everybody knows you can punish dodge attacks after his missed kick, which is really cool. You gotta react pretty quick, but you can punish it with a crushing counter. Most of the time. I think there are certain cases where you can't. However, if they don't dodge attack and they just dodge normally, you have the risk of them dodging and guard breaking you, or dodging and like light attacking or something like that. In that case, you have an alternative option. If they go for the dodge then guard break, the safest option you're gonna have here is if you guard break, do this, they dodge forward heavy instead, because you're hyper armored and you don't really have any GB vulnerability. So you got to react pretty quick, but if you master this, you're going to be a little scarier. Musha. This is a very unique thing to learn, but still something new nonetheless. So if you have an out of stam opponent and you throw them with a top heavy finisher, you can actually get a light into a heavy and another light confirmed. All of that confirmed. Now if you throw the last light, you are guard break punishable. But this is a punish that only works on the top. If you do it on the sides, you will not actually be able to reach your target, and they'll get up after the first light. So, something new. Next up, we have Xingqiu. So, until like the bash changes happen, if you did your light finisher on somebody and you tried to bash after, you were interruptible by a light attack, but now you're not. So, feel free to use this on people who can't react to it and continue into your pressure. Next up is Xingqiu. Now, his tip is a really weird one, but a very useful one. If you guard break, walk backwards as you hit your heavy. It's going to give you a little bit of extra range from your opponent. So, if you just need to get stamina or something, it puts you out of range of a guard break as well as a light attack. So, very useful. Shaolin. So, he has a flicker tech with his stance that you can do. Now, I normally don't like teaching this one, but it's been in the game forever, so we're going to go ahead and show it to you guys. Basically, if you enter stance with a light attack, you can let go of the light attack, but immediately input a heavy, and it will freak out the animation, and it will swap it out. And on their end, they're going to see a weird animation, as well as a flicker on the guard. And you do the same thing with a heavy. If you open up with a heavy, and then let go of heavy, and then immediately press a light attack, it's going to swap up the animation, and it's going to switch the attack. So just so you guys know, it does exist, and that's how you do it. Next up is Pirate. I'm sure you guys have seen this already, but if you haven't, our unblockable is now confirmed on heavy parries. Obviously confirmable on light parries, but this is a new update where the last frame parry is no longer possible. It was already hard to do it before, but now it's legit confirmed on every single heavy parry. For a total of 17 damage. Fira used to be able to knock people into the wall continuously by flipping to the side after a knock into the wall. However, they have slowed that down, so now the follow-up is actually dodgeable. But what you can still do to retain this mix-up to an extent is after knocking them to the wall, you can do a top heavy while moving sideways, and that will let you keep their back to the wall. Now it's not confirmed on the kick obviously, but you get to keep the wall pressure. It's nice. Medjay. So, they made his unblockable very guard breakable. So right there, I was spamming counter guard break, and I could not get rid of it, or could not counter guard break it. But if you do whiff your unblockable, and you just switch stances, you're fine. So, in these odd situations where you do happen to whiff an unblockable, just switch guard. You're safe to counter guard break. You are not safe to dodge attack though. Alright people, we got Ocelot. So a fun thing you can do with him is if you throw your heavies in zones the same direction in chain, it is actually kind of hard to tell which is which at the moment of the fight. And since they have slightly different times of impact, you can hit people trying to parry the chain heavy, and then they eat the chain zone instead, and vice versa. It's actually a pretty neat little mechanic with his infinite chain to have two different heavies on the same side with different timings. So feel free to throw this in, and you're probably going to hit a lot of these chain zones with people trying to parry heavies. Last up here we have good old Cotton. So what I see a lot of people do is when they get into their stance, they'll just go stance light, zone, etc. Without realizing you can also chain off of any of those attacks, except for the unblockable. So if you do go into this and you say you do your zone, you can go into your chains, go right back into it, go back into that again. It's pretty cool, man, how many soft feints you can do with this character. So make sure you're utilizing them all. That way you're not stuck just doing the same offense all game. Doing this and super lame. And guys, that was one tip / trick with every character in For Honor. So I hope you guys learned something new. If you guys want to add any other obscure tips, feel free to put them down in the comments below for others to learn something new. And if y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like. Lets me know that you guys do enjoy the informative content. And guys, y'all have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye.